What is going on, guys? With week 2 behind us, it's time to update and adjust our quarterback power rankings.
They have Daniel Jones playing at an MVP caliber style of ball. They do.
Before we start, we're including grades for injured starting QBs or second stringers who got meaningful playing time. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals, B+. Burrow had 7 completions for 76 yards and a touchdown before suffering a turf toe injury that will sideline him for at least 3 months. Burrow looked like his usual MVP self before the injury. He's hoping for a speedy recovery. Tyrod Taylor, B+, replacing a concussed Justin Fields in a blowout loss to Buffalo. Taylor got the ball moving and finished 7 of 11 for 56 yards, a touchdown, and 21 rushing yards on 3 carries. Now to the real list. Number 32, Cam Ward, Tennessee Titans. Ward was a little better in week 2 after a shaky debut in Denver, tossing 175 yards and 1 touchdown against a prolific Los Angeles Rams defense. Ward and the Titans offense were overmatched entirely by the Rams D, so we can't harp on Ward too much. Number 31, Joe Flacco, Cleveland Browns. I mean, what more is there to say? We all know Flacco isn't a long-term option anymore, and it feels like he's 1 or 2 more lousy games away from being benched for Dylan Gabriel or Shadur Sanders. Number 30, Justin Fields, New York Jets. After a dazzling Week 1 performance against Pittsburgh, Fields just looked confused and lost against the Buffalo defense before exiting with a concussion in the 4th quarter. Number 29, Caleb Williams, Chicago Bears. So, will Caleb Williams ever become the guy in Chicago? Or is this just how it's going to be? The excitement of Ben Johnson's arrival and a rebuilt offensive line have quickly worn off. Number 28, JJ McCarthy, Minnesota Vikings. Woof. McCarthy's first NFL home game was an absolute disaster. Only 11 completions for 158 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 takeaways, and 6 sacks. That's not the guy Minnesota wants after passing on the chance to retain Sam Darnold. Just saying. Number 27, Spencer Rattler, New Orleans Saints. Small sample size, yes, but a 65 completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and 90.7 passer rating through 2 weeks is miles better than what anyone could have expected. Number 26, Jake Browning, Cincinnati Bengals. With Joe Burrow sidelined indefinitely, the Bengals are leaning on Browning to keep the season alive. He was fine for the most part against Jacksonville, throwing for 241 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 rushing score. But those 3 interceptions were brutal and hard to watch. Number 25, Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins. Tua shook off a horrific Week 1 performance and looked like his Pro Bowl caliber self, with 26 completions for 315 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. It ultimately led to nothing though, with Miami's invisible defense giving up 33 points in a crushing 6-point defeat. Number 24, Geno Smith, Las Vegas Raiders. Smith missed throws all night long against a dangerous Chargers defense. Despite 43 pass attempts, he only finished with 180 yards and had 0 touchdowns against 3 interceptions. Simply unwatchable. Number 23, Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers. Young had 328 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception in Sunday's heartbreaking loss to Arizona. But context matters here. The former first overall pick attempted 55 passes, so make of that as you will. Number 22, CJ Stroud, Houston Texans. It's hard to fully blame Stroud when he's playing behind a Swiss cheese offensive line, but only 13 completions for 207 yards and 1 touchdown against one of football's worst pass defense doesn't cut it. Number 21, Mac Jones, San Francisco 49ers. If Sunday was an indicator, it's that the 49ers will be just fine without Brock Purdy for the time being. Making his first start with the 49ers, the former Patriots first-round pick was on point with 26 completions for 279 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no picks. And he did this without Brandon Ayuk and George Kittle. Number 20, Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville Jaguars. 271 passing yards and 3 touchdowns sounds good at first, but Lawrence also attempted a whopping 44 passes and threw 2 brutal interceptions. Number 19, Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are 0-2 for the first time in the Mahomes era. Mahomes is at 445 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. It's not ideal, but he's also playing 2 of the NFL's best defenses to begin the year. Number 18, Bo Nix, Denver Broncos. Facing a stingy Colts defense on the road, Nix went 22 of 30 for 206 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But it was an uncharacteristically awful performance from the defense and careless penalties that prevented Denver from going 2-0. Number 17, Aaron Rodgers, Pittsburgh Steelers. We know Rodgers is still getting accustomed to Arthur Smith's offense, but this was a real letdown performance. The good news? The Steelers' next 3 opponents are the Patriots, J.J. McCarthy-less Vikings, and Browns. Number 16, Drake May, New England Patriots. May was accurate and surgical like a brain surgeon, finishing Sunday with 19 completions on 23 attempts for 230 yards, and then 2 touchdowns and 1 rushing. With that, May led the Pats to their first win in South Beach since 2019. Number 15, Sam Darnold, Seattle Seahawks. Darnold had 295 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, but he made some big-time throws in the second half and danced past Steeler edge rushers with nasty footwork to help Seattle escape with a potential season-saving victory. Number 14, Michael Penix Jr., Atlanta Falcons. Penix didn't light up his individual stats in Sunday's demolition of the Vikings, but he didn't need to go off. Not with the Falcons rushing for 218 yards, and not with the D feasting on the Vikings O-line and J.J. McCarthy all day. Number 13, Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders. Harassed all day by Micah Parsons and that resilient Packers pass rush, Daniels mustered just 200 passing yards on 42 attempts with 2 touchdowns and no picks. The Commanders were held in check for 45 minutes before Daniels finally came around in the 4th quarter. Number 12, Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals. Murray was far from perfect in Sunday's nail-biting 27-22 victory over an underwhelming Carolina team, but he did just enough to push the Redbirds to 2-0 with 220 passing yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception. Number 11, Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles. Hurts' numbers in the highly anticipated Super Bowl 59 rematch weren't crazy, but he made the big plays when the Eagles needed it most, aka that, and got the tush-push TD to put the game away late. Number 10, Russell Wilson, New York Giants. Well, somebody found the fountain of youth. Vintage Russ returned on Sunday's epic shootout in Dallas. Wilson threw for 450 yards and 3 touchdowns. If not for a hapless Big Blue defense, the Giants would have upset their longtime kryptonite for their first win of 2025. Number 9, Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Despite being under duress by a scary Houston front 7 all night long, Mayfield had 2 touchdowns, no picks, and 33 rushing yards in an epic 20-19 comeback win over the Texans on Monday night. With 5 touchdowns and no picks, Mayfield is already in the MVP discussion. Number 8, Josh Allen, Buffalo Bills. Allen's stat line against the Jets wasn't eye-dropping by any means, especially compared to his heroic Week 1 performance against Baltimore. 158 passing yards, 59 rushing yards, and no touchdowns is far from MVP caliber. But Allen didn't have to do much because his Bills' ground game racked up 224 yards and 3 touchdowns. Number 7, Dak Prescott, Dallas Cowboys. Prescott was 38 of 52 for 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in a 40-37 road win as his ownage of the Giants continues. And don't forget those masterful game-tying field goal drives that Brandon Aubrey capped off on the final play of regulation and overtime. Number 6, Jared Goff, Detroit Lions. Ben Johnson who? And the premature talk about the Lions offense missing Ben Johnson over one lousy Week 1 game in Green Bay? Sorry, who put up 52 burger against Johnson and the Bears on Sunday again? Goff had one of the best games of his career, throwing for 334 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in a 52-21 blowout win over Chicago. Number 5, Daniel Jones, Indianapolis Colts. If the doubters thought Week 1 was a fluke, how do you explain Danny Dimes' destruction of a dangerous Broncos defense on Sunday? Jones carved up the Broncos D like a Thanksgiving turkey with 316 passing yards and 2 total touchdowns in a thrilling 29-28 victory. Number 4, Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers. Most of the focus is on Micah Parsons in Green Bay, but how about a 292-yard day with 2 touchdowns for Mr. Love against a dangerous Washington defense? Love is up to 480 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks, and a jaw-dropping 120.0 passer rating through 2 weeks. Number 3, Matthew Stafford, Los Angeles Rams. So much for that concerning back injury, huh? Stafford looked like his peak self through 2 weeks, dropping 298 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick in an easy road win over the Titans. Number 2, Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. After a 300-yard, 3 TD performance against the Chiefs, Herbert was flawless against the Raiders in Sin City on Monday Night Football. Despite little support from his ground game, Herbert stood tall and finished with 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, and team-best 31 rushing yards. Number 1, Lamar Jackson, Baltimore Ravens. Well, it's clear who the early MVP frontrunner is through 2 weeks. 1 week after a near-flawless performance in a stunning Week 1 loss to Buffalo, Jackson dropped the hammer on Cleveland's defense through the air, 19 completions for 225 yards and 4 touchdowns, more than making up for a quiet day from Baltimore's ground game. Who do you think is the NFL's best quarterback heading into Week 3? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to TPS. We post videos every day. Every day is a new video. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
On my knee.